is your news source evening bulletin for today, Wednesday, the 24th day of May in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. Having completed its investigations into the fire at a Mahdia school dormitory that claimed the lives of 19 children, the Guyana Police Force has written to the Director of Public Prosecutions seeking legal advice on possible criminal charges. The police force in a statement last night announced that a female student who was housed in the same dorm that was gutted is the only suspect in the matter. The police force's public relations department would not say whether or not that suspect is in custody. The police statement revealed that a fire was set in the bathroom area of the facility, and most of the students were asleep at the time. Survivors told investigators that they were awakened by loud screams, and after noticing the fire spreading to other parts of the building, they moved to escape. Some of the girls got trapped in the building, which was heavily grilled, with all of its doors locked from the outside. The bodies of 14 children were burnt in the building, while 5 others died at a hospital in the area. Several others were injured, with 6 of the injured remaining in a critical condition. With the police force and fire service both completing their probes, there are now calls for a full commission of inquiry into the deadly fire and the circumstances that led to the tragedy. President Irpanali this morning urged Guyanese to desist from sharing certain information about the children who perished and those who survived the devastating Mahdia Secondary School dorm fire 2 nights ago. In an early morning Facebook Live video, the president said while everyone is entitled to their opinions and views, now is not the time for wild speculations and unsubstantiated claims about the lives of the teenage girls who were residing in the dorms. He called for more responsible use of social media at this time.
I'm urging all Guyanese to desist from self-analysis, from reviewing timeline stories of all these girls, and from analyzing the life story of all of these girls at this time. There's a time and place for everything. Let us focus our use of social media on motivational quotes.
President Ali also said the government will spare no effort to ensure that the memories of the children live on. He explained that the government has been working hand in hand with the families to examine ways in which it can assist.
This is a time for national responsibility, collective responsibility. I'm seeking your help and your assistance in ensuring that we use social media in a responsible way at this time, having respect and regards for the families, the children, the teachers, and the community.
And in a clear response to criticism overtaking the survivors to a candlelight vigil last evening at the Guyana, the president said it must be understood that all the support and love must be shown to those who survived and their families. He stressed that when the children and their families go back to their small villages in the hinterland where there are no neighbors close by or telephone services for them to call and get support, then is when reality will step in.
Let us understand that these children and these families will go back to small villages in the hinterland where there are no neighbors close by, where there are no telephone service for them to call each other and support each other, where there is no deep population to rest their shoulders on. Many of them live in distant farmlands. Many of them have lost major part of their families. They have different circumstances to go back to. We are going to support them in those circumstances in their villages, in their communities, with the necessary counseling services,
In that light, the president said the government will not only provide support now, but will offer long-term support to the families and survivors of the tragedy. More news coming up in a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Oh my lord! I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
Ignite! A new flavor of Sunshine Snacks Zumas made for the pepper lover in you. Caution! Look for the Ignite flames on your favorite packs of Sunshine Snacks and get ready to handle the heat.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Strong and solid in countries far and wide. New India Assurance, we're standing by your side. Golden service, half a century and more. New India Assurance, our policies are secure. From the heart of India, we serve these islands. The strength that you can trust, you're safe when you come to us.
New India Assurance Company. Assurance when you need it most.
For your home, motor or business insurance, visit New India Guyana office, 58 Brickdam next to Star Computers. Telephone 226-0415-7. Comfortable parking available.
Only 2 of the 8 priority recommendations made by the European Union Elections Observer Mission following the 2020 elections have been fully implemented. There has been no movement on the issues of campaign financing and the use of the state media, an election follow-up mission has found. During a press conference held at the Pegasus Hotel today, EU electoral analyst Alexander Mattes explained that 2 of the priority recommendations regarding the publication of statements of poll have been implemented in full through provisions contained in the Representation of the People Amendment Act,
which suggested that the clear tabulation procedures, written procedures are implemented. That has been taken care of by one of the provisions in the Representation of People's Amendment Act. There are now very clear written procedures on how to tabulate the results of the elections from step 1 until the final announcement of the results. And the second priority recommendation called for increased transparency in the results process.
The EU Chief of Mission Javier Nard explained further that the Representation of the People Act now provides for clear written procedures for the tabulation of election results. He also reasoned that the new measures would enhance the transparency of the tabulation process through robust publication of statements of poll on the website of the Guyana Elections Commission. It was noted that 2 other regulations relating to the need for continuous registration and the adoption of a data protection law have been partially implemented. However, he pointed out that there has been no movement on the issues of campaign financing and the use of the state media.
And financing is capital because control of financing, accountability is not only, let me say, metaphysics, it's physics. It's very, very important. I mean, when a party goes into elections and have no limit of spending, it is like running with a Ferrari against someone that is running on its own feet. Who is going to win? Of course, the Ferrari one. So we have to have an equal playing field, and it means the financing has to have, the spending has to have a limit.
The mission had also lobbied for a legal and regulatory system to be put in place to transform the state-owned media into a genuine public service broadcaster.
Second, it is state assets. When you are in power, again, the possibility of taking public assets for the party, it is something that happens and happens and happens. This is a second point that is very important. The third one is public media. Well, we did the report, and you have the report. It is the March 2020 that was presented. And if you go to pages 61, 62, and 63, you will see what is the use, what is the situation, of public TV, public radio, and so on. And it goes from 90% for government plus party in power to 76%. So public media at the end becomes a kind of government media for the party in power.
And weighing in on the issue, the mission's legal analyst Anne Marbo said there has been no movement on the incorporation of international treaties and conventions, such as the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and the UN Convention Against Corruption, into the country's legal framework.
We did have a wide range of priority recommendations, and certainly not all of them have been addressed, far from it. That we've just heard about 4 recommendations that have been addressed, and that's very positive. In the legal area, the recommendations are very broad. Some are around incorporation of some of the international legal standards into domestic law, because the international and regional legal standards are really what inform us in our election observation. They're what informed our recommendations. So at present, several of the instruments that are relevant to elections haven't yet been transposed into domestic law.
The 8 priority recommendations form part of a total of 26 recommendations that were made by the EU Electoral Observer Team. The majority of those recommendations require changes in the country's legislative framework and the constitution. However, with the country now midway through the electoral cycle, the follow-up mission believes that there is still time for the electoral reform to take place. Through constitutional reform may be much slower.
Electoral reform is critically important to rebuild confidence in the integrity of the administration of Guyana elections. The European Union delegation supports continued democracy and good governance in Guyana and wishes to support the stakeholders in the efforts to promote such reform.
The EU follow-up mission has been meeting with a wide range of stakeholders, including the government, the opposition, and civil society. Noticing an increase in the number of third-party preparers for U.S. visa applications, the U.S. Embassy in Georgetown is warning about fake appointment letters being issued by some of those private visa application preparers. The embassy has also expressed concern about some of the exorbitant fees being charged by some of those preparers for their services. In the latest installment of its Ask the Consul feature on its website, the U.S. Embassy reminded that while the visa application carries a fee, all of the associated forms are free and are available on the Embassy's website. Additionally, the Embassy said persons should avoid those visa consultants who offer to improve an applicant's chances of qualifying for a visa by entering false information on the visa application. The embassy reminded that false information can disqualify an applicant and make that person permanently ineligible for a U.S. visa. The embassy also warned visa applicants about paying persons who claim that they can improve the applicant's chances of being granted a visa, adding that visa consultants cannot improve your chances and they have no inside connections to the embassy. The embassy said persons should avoid anyone who makes such a claim, since visa consultants cannot improve their chances. And the embassy reminded too that an applicant's qualifications, as presented in the visa application and at the interview and U.S. law, are the only basis on which visa decisions are made. The embassy said regulations prohibit embassy officials from providing unofficial assistance to visa applicants.
Just so good, cheesy's the taste, it's just so good. Cheesy's are the one and only. So cheesy, crunchy, give me one please. Sunshine Snacks, cheesy's, it's just so good. The whole crowd that's a cheesy, so cheesy, just so good. Yes, fella, can you feel me? Sunshine Snacks, just so good. Number one taste, the whole place I say, just so good. Cheesy's the taste, it's just so good. Cheesy's are the one and only. So cheesy, crunchy, give me one please. Sunshine Snacks, cheesy's, it's just so good.
What is local government? Local government is the system of locally elected members representing their communities and making decisions on their behalf. Local factors such as geography, the environment, economic opportunities, and health can be better taken account of by local governments charged with making decisions that affect their communities. These decisions can relate to the effective and efficient provision of services to meet community needs, to the regulation of certain functions, to facilitation of local activities, and to pursue community goals. In making these decisions, councils have to report to their communities in a clear and accountable way. Local authorities cannot achieve their objectives alone. They work closely with central government and with other organizations, public bodies, businesses, and citizens. Once elected, local governments are empowered to serve the people who live within the municipality or neighborhood democratic council and constituencies to which they were elected. Monday, June 12, 2023 is Local Government Elections Day. For further information, contact GCOM or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Attorney at law Bernard De Silva has written to the acting Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicken over the release of the police interrogation of murder accused Brian Richards to a media house. Richards is currently on remand over the murder of deputy head teacher and actor Kerwin Mars. In the letter, which was also copied to the acting Chancellor of the Judiciary, the attorney called on the Guyana Police Force to issue a public directive instructing that a video interview be removed from all forms of circulation. In the video interview, which was published by the newsroom last week, the murder accused was seen and heard admitting to being involved in the murder of the teacher. De Silva complained that the video was then shared multiple times across social media. The attorney said it is interesting to note that the only custodian of the video is the Guyana Police Force. The attorney, who was hired by the sister of the accused, said the release of the video could affect the murder trial. He said, as the police force should be aware, any statement given by an accused prior to a trial is subject to judicial testing before admissibility is pronounced upon by a court of competent jurisdiction. He said the video interview is not excluded, and the video was published without due process being observed. It was noted that the prosecution had informed the court that disclosures in the case will be made on the 23rd of June. While the attorney contemplates what judicial remedies will be taken, he called on the police commissioner to explain why the video was made public in the first place before any judicial pronouncement on its admissibility. He explained further that the Chancellor of the Judiciary was sent a copy of the letter because the incident is likely a breach of the Constitution and touches and concerns his client's fundamental right to a fair hearing. The murder accused was remanded to jail on the 12th of May. The preliminary inquiry into the murder is expected to begin in August. The accused was arrested at his Regent Street workplace after video recordings from CCTV cameras captured him and the educator leaving a city bar less than an hour before the murder took place on the 8th of May. The two men shared a close friendship. An 84-year-old woman lost her life in Buxton on Tuesday afternoon after being hit down by a reversing garbage truck. The elderly woman has been identified by relatives as Elaine Williams. The driver of the truck, 32-year-old Timothy Franklin Baines, told police investigators that he was reversing along the Sideline Dam access road when he suddenly felt as if he had hit something. The man reportedly explained that he parked the vehicle and went around to the back, discovering the elderly woman's body in a motionless state behind the vehicle. Persons in the area with the assistance of the police rushed the woman to the Buxton Medical Center where she was pronounced dead. The truck driver was attacked and badly beaten by residents of the area. He had to be rushed to the George Young Hospital where he was admitted with multiple injuries. He remains on the police guard. The investigations are ongoing. Police investigators are probing the murder of a 47-year-old carpenter. The dead man has been identified as Terry Washington of Durban Street here in Georgetown. A police report stated that on Tuesday morning, Washington was in his yard when an argument broke out between him and another construction worker who was working on a nearby building. As the two were arguing, two other men jumped into Washington's yard and got into a fight with him. Eyewitnesses said the fight lasted for about 15 minutes, and when it ended, the carpenter was seen motionless on the ground with wounds to his head. The two perpetrators escaped from the scene and investigators were summoned. The badly injured man was taken to the George Young Hospital where he was pronounced dead. A number of persons in the area were questioned about the incident. There have been no arrests in the case so far.
Why you must vote at local government elections. Local government officials make decisions every day that affect the well-being of your life, the lives of your family and community. By voting for a voluntary group, political party or individual candidate of your choice, you will be electing the people who will make these very important decisions. If you don't vote, then you allow other people who do vote to choose local government officials without your input. Those others may not share your views about issues that matter to you. Voting also provides you with an opportunity to remind the elected government officials that they are accountable to you. Every eligible citizen has the right and responsibility to vote at local government elections. Monday, June 12, 2023 is Local Government Elections Day. For further information, contact GCOM on 225-0277-9, 226-6557, 223-9650 or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor at the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
Fuel it up and drive, Zumba 95. Fuel it up and drive, Zumba 95. your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, residents in several parts of Uruguay are praying for rain amid a historic drought that has left the main reservoir for the city with only 10 days of water left. Low rainfall and high temperatures across the southern region of South America have triggered a severe drought over the last year, affecting crops in neighboring grains producer Argentina and triggering steep farm losses. In Uruguay, the water deficit is the worst in 74 years, according to officials. It is affecting the supply to thousands of households and leading to poor water quality. The water level in one reservoir, which is serving more than half of the population, is at historical lows, according to the state water company. The latest data shows it has around 6.2 million cubic meters of water, a far cry from the 60 million monthly average. Brazil has declared a 6-month animal health emergency after several cases of avian flu were found in wild birds. 7 cases have been reported in the Espírito Santo state, with another discovered in Rio de Janeiro. The emergency declaration makes it easier for the government to now bring in measures to stop the highly infectious bird flu virus from spreading. Brazil is the world's largest exporter of chicken meat, with annual sales of more than $10 billion. Authorities say the cases were found far away from Brazil's main areas of production in the south of the country. However, outbreaks in commercial flocks elsewhere have sometimes been observed to follow the discovery of avian flu cases in wild birds. The finding of a case on a farm often triggers a cull of a large number of birds and can sometimes prompt trade restrictions from other countries. And finally, tonight, international news. The BBC reports that singer Tina Turner, whose soul classics and pop hits like The Best and What's Love Got to Do With It made her a superstar, died today at the age of 83. Turner had suffered a number of health issues in recent years, including cancer, a stroke, and kidney failure. She rose to fame alongside her husband Ike Turner in the 1960s, with songs including Proud Mary and River Deep Mountain High. She divorced the abusive Ike Turner in 1978 and went on to find even greater success as a solo artist in the 1980s. Dubbed the Queen of Rock and Roll, Tina Turner was famed for her raunchy and energetic stage performances and husky, powerful vocals. Her death was announced on her official Instagram page. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.